These noodles are packed full of flavor. Fresh ginger and garlic and roasted sesame seeds really make these noodles pop. You're gonna wanna try them. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Duties Behind the Camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. As grocery prices continue to rise, we're trying to bring you more recipes that will help save you money and still get great flavors at home. We are making a garlic sesame lo mein today, and it's one of those recipes that is super simple to make that seriously, if you blink, you're gonna miss it. A package of egg noodles cost me less than $4 in the grocery store, but if you were to order a giant plate of lo mein in a restaurant, it can cost anywhere $15 and up these days. I'm using a small piece of ginger, not even a thumb size. We're gonna grate about 2 teaspoons of ginger into this recipe. And if you don't wanna use ginger, you can eliminate it. If you wanna use more ginger, you can add more or use less. Totally up to you. We just want to get a good tasting meal on the table. That's the goal. Also using 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm just gonna run them through the garlic press. Adding it to the ginger because we're gonna add it to the dish at the same time.
And let me guess, if you want it to be more garlicky, you can add more garlic.
Oh, absolutely. And if you don't wanna add that much garlic, then don't add so much garlic. Totally up to you, no big deal. Moving on to the sauce, I have a teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm adding about a 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper, 1 tablespoon of regular soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce will give it color, and it's not as salty as regular soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. And this is the sauce that's going to flavor your noodles. Make sure that sugar is dissolved. And if you don't want to use brown sugar, you can use regular sugar. If you don't have dark soy sauce, you can use an extra tablespoon of regular soy sauce. You'll want about 3 tablespoons of sauces, whatever you have. Okay, I just prepared the noodles as instructed on the package, which was to soak them in hot water for a minute. And you want the noodles to be nice and loose like this. You don't want them clumpy, otherwise, well, your noodles are gonna be clumpy and you don't want that. We're heating up a wok on low. And if you don't have a wok, you can always use a large frying pan. A wok, for me, is just easier to move the ingredients around. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and actually it's corn oil. That's what I'm using these days. And you can use whatever oil you want. Adding my ginger and my garlic. I'm gonna let this cook for a minute. I don't want it to burn, so let's turn this down a little bit. Okay, now adding the noodles. Just gonna try to get some of that garlic and ginger into the noodles. We're still on low, so we just want the noodles to kind of heat through. We don't want to fry up the noodles. And that's the difference between lo mein and chow mein, is that chow mein is fried. Lo mein just means mixing the noodles around. We're gonna add our sauce. Make sure that all the noodle is covered in some of the sauce. I'm gonna turn off the heat. We're adding a tablespoon of sesame oil. And we're adding the sesame oil at the end because that is how you will taste the flavor of the sesame. If you cook sesame oil, it actually decreases the flavor of sesame. So there's really no point in adding it ahead of the very end. And we're also adding roasted sesame seeds and maybe about a tablespoon. I'm gonna garnish with half of my green onions that I chopped up, just to mix it in with the noodles, and then the rest of the green onions will go on top. And if this is too dry for you in terms of lo mein, I am serving this on the side of meat and veggies that I'm cooking on the side. You can always add more sauce. Totally up to you, super versatile. But this will give you a baseline to start with. My goodness, check out how much we have.
That's a mountain of noodles.
This will be more than what our family needs to eat on the side. The rest of your green onions on top. Are you all ready for?
Yep.
The taste. I love rice, but rice is just rice. Noodles, this lo mein, with all the flavors, will go so well with your favorite protein or your veg, and together becomes a dynamic duo of flavor. Lo mein here in Vancouver is a little bit different from this. It's dry noodles on a plate with the wonton and dumplings or dumplings and veg on the side, and it's served with a side of soup. So sometimes I just pour some of that soup on top to get it to my preference of moistness. Is that a word? Yeah, it is. But in the meantime, let's get into this. As the cats are wanting dinner and they're beginning to claw my legs, that's okay, but I'm taking one for the team. Great flavor. Just like the garlic noodles. Awesome on the side, or awesome as a main. We're gonna have this with vegetables on the side afterwards. It's gonna be good.
All right, thanks, dude.
Oh.
If you don't have fresh egg noodles like these, you can always use just spaghetti or some other instant noodles like ramen noodles would work really well. If you find these noodles a little bit on the dry side, you can always add more sauce. Equal parts of soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and oyster sauce will get you more sauce on your noodles. For the garlic noodle recipe, check it out. I will see you over there.